Yes, I want to talk to you about when I was a single parent working on the minimum wage. Yes, it wasn't easy for me because working, getting minimum wage pay, I have to take care of myself and my two children. There are a lot of sacrifices I made. I couldn't feed myself on Burger King burger. I could feed myself on KFC and patty and those stuff and big box lunch because I have to think about my kids. And there are times I don't have enough money to come back to work and so forth. So what I normally do, the sacrifice I made, when I'm there, I don't eat lunch. Sometimes if I do eat, it's a snack. Sometimes I eat snack and ice cream. Sometimes it's a sauce of ice cream. Sometimes it's bola. Sometimes bola and ice cream. Sometimes it's just water. And even if I eat ice cream, when I get my pay, I pay for it. And the snacks in there is so expensive, so there are times when I get my tip, I have to try and buy the cheapest snacks, which is the sandwich biscuits. The peanut sandwich biscuits, those are the cheapest ones. So I buy those and eat and drink water. I fill my body with cold drink. So those are the things I went through working on the minimum wage. So my thought, what I want to say now, my motivational speech is that no matter where you end up or what situation you end up in, you can come out of it. As long as you push yourself and have God with you in the midst, you can come out of it. No one gonna stay and work on the minimum wage forever. No one would do that, sorry. No one gonna work on the minimum wage all of their life. So if you're working now on the minimum wage, don't give up. Because it must end. You must move from that level. God gonna move you. God gonna take you places that you never see yourself. Because if God can do it for me, He can do it for you. Just to show you, there are a lot of times the same empty beer bottles at my workplace. I usually hustle them. Yes, after I hustle them over the supermarket so the Chinaman buy it from me. And I create them, the empty crate them, I hustle them. So the empty crate, the empty liquor bottles, yeah, those me have to use and hustle them over the Chinese, get the money and use that money for pay me fare or for help buy a grocery or for even help buy a snack or something to eat. Something to do. No matter what you're going through, if I can go through it and survive, you can go through it and survive. It's not easy to work on the minimum wage, pay a light bill, pay a water bill. I never pay a water bill and light bill, but I'm just saying, for those who are paying light bill, water bill, taking care of your house, your kids out, and if you pay rent and them, so you work minimum wage, don't give up, don't lose hope. Do something and try to make a little money on the side, like what me do, like what I did. I hustle the buckles and the crates and make my money. Because me I said, me I work here, so me I work and spend some long hours, sometimes I leave till 10 o'clock in the night. And me I say, me not get no pay for it, extra pay. And sometimes when I leave work, me have to pay late hours pay money. Me have to pay late hours fare in the night, because sometimes, like on weekends, we like 12 or so. So me not get, sometimes when I leave, me not get drive too late. So me have to pay more money. So if me have to just do something for hustle the money, also look at money at the side to help me, that's what I did. At least me know it's not steal it or nothing. No, because me not go down there and road it. But as a single parent, I know it's not easy to work on the minimum wage and have a lot of things to take care of. Some of you may have water bill, light bill, rent, children also to take care of and so forth. But just don't lose hope. If God is for you, who can be against you? And God take me through it, say we take you through it. God will open up a lot of doors and take you to places that you never imagine, or take you to places that you never see yourself. So my motivational speech is, as I said, don't lose hope, don't lose focus. Even though I have my first child at 19, guess what? The same year I have him, I went back to school, improved my studies. And I was the only girl in the class because it was electrical. So I'm a certified electrical installation person. I'm a certified electrical installation at level 1. I'm certifying that. And I have my daughter. And meanwhile, my son going to school, basic school level, yeah, because he was at basic school, yeah, and she was at basic school, because he's 2 years older than her. So I went back to school again. This time I was to do the course in early childhood, be a basic school teacher. But they didn't have a lot of students for that, so I have to change my career path and I do the foods. So I'm certified level 1 and 2 in food preparation, commercial chef. Yeah. And now I have 3 children. That still doesn't stop me. I'm still pursuing myself into furthering my studies. So you having a child doesn't stop you from reaching your goal or accomplish what you want to accomplish. What you're gonna do is put you back a setback. You're gonna set you back, yes. But when your child start to grow and you can see yourself to pursue the career or pursue your studies, go ahead and do it, because having a child not stopping you from accomplishing your goals. That to show you, I went through it, and I right here I have 3, and I'm still pursuing to further my studies. Because of the COVID-19, I was unable to do further my studies in what I wanted to do. But right now, I'm home. I'm still doing other things. I'm still pursuing my studies elsewhere. Because you have a lot of online courses going around. I'm still aiming. All people who reach 50, 60, 80 odd, and them still to themselves fit, them still a study, so why me can't do it? Yeah. And because my 3 children, I gonna give up. No, I won't do that. Because my aim is to always be an entrepreneur. I know myself growing up, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, not working for no one else. Because the way I see people treat people, I don't want to end up into those situations, because I know I don't want to be rude or disrespectful to anyone, so I try my best. I always tell myself, say, you know what, I don't work for nobody, because I see them a treat that the person, if I did me more to tolerate, I not going to tolerate certain things. So, with me have that mentality, so I will be an entrepreneur. And right now, I still have it in my head to be one. Right now, I hope have my business on Fiverr. Yeah. Where I do relationship advice. Everybody knows me love counseling when them have relationship problem. Everybody know that. So me still, you see it. So I'll do that. And I do my poetry. A lot of people don't know. I love to do poems. I love to do short story. And not my poems and my stories, most majority of them are based on what I go through. So I write my poems based on that, and my stories based on that. And some of them is what I see happening, I write. And if I'm in certain mood, if I'm not like in a bad mood, the best thing I will do is just sit down and start to write. And I just write out my feelings, yeah, into my poem or into my story. And I do dub poetry also. A lot of people don't know, so I draw. Yes, and I also draw. So I have my drawing skill, I have my writing skill in poetry, dub poet, story writing, and I've also given relationship advice. So I'm a cook, certified cook. So you see, I have a lot of talents, and I'm still pursuing. But I won't say much on what I'm pursuing in right now. But as soon as I complete my missions, yeah, you all will know about it. You all will know about it, and I will show you. Because for me, thank God I didn't try to put myself in any problem. Working on the minimum wage, yeah. A lot of people didn't know that I go through that. Or when I'm going to school, even when I have my son and I'm going to school, there's a lot of time I don't eat lunch same way. That money that I would use to buy lunch for myself, I take it home and save on it to buy Pampers and buy feeding for my son. When my son and daughter are going to basic school, I have a friend. I won't mention her name still, but she know I have a friend. When I was going to college of hospitality, she know When she's watching, she know who I'm talking about. I don't wanna mention her name, okay? Without her permission. Well, she know how when it's lunchtime, she know that I would not eat lunch. Because what I do, if I do eat something, it's like when I take a snack from home and eat, or I try to eat something before I come to school. So now I'm at school, everybody's eating their lunch, so all the time I don't eat. I try to save back that money what I used to spend and buy food, and save it so I can get to buy things for my children to go to school. Because at the same time I was going to school and my children's going to school, and I wasn't working. My uncle was the one helping me. My uncle in the state was helping sending me back to school, because I did a program in my community and I passed that program. And that program, at the end of the program, they send you to school and they pay the money for us to go to the school. And when they pay the money for us to go to school, it wasn't sufficient for the other course, because I was unable to do the course that I wanted to do because they didn't have enough children. So because of that, my uncle just paid the balance, the outstanding money, for me to do the foods. And he was the one who helped me to pay the fare and so forth to go to school. So whenever I send money for me to go to school, I would just don't eat lunch, save back all of those money, buy not Pampers, for my children were going to be school. I used to buy things for my children to go to school, get them textbook, everything. So there's a lot of sacrifices. If I really mean good for your children, you will see the sacrifices are worth it. And if you really meant good for your children, you will understand that even though it's not starve myself, and it's not starve me, want starve myself. All I want me do, the sacrifices are not eating a big meal or whatever, and save back that money. Is not mean to myself. It was because I want the best for my kids. I want not only the best for my kids, but I was a single parent, and I think about what my children gonna eat, what my children are in need of for school and home and whatever. So I have to get to what I have to get. So look reach much when God is in it. Okay? Yes. A lot of people may be watching this. When they're watching it, they may be saying, wow, she go through all of that and she still have a smile on her face. Yes. I will always have a smile on my face. A lot of people maybe say, oh, she go through that and I never know, and she behave like say, yeah, she not go through nothing at her, she not sure say she go through certain things, or they never know. Yeah. If you're not around me, or if I don't tell you, you won't know my story. But I want to use my story right now to encourage others, because I know that a lot of people go through it. Some people cannot some people cannot manage it. So some of them take their own life. And I'm trying to put my life story out there so other people can know that do not take your life. Do not lose hope. Don't give up. And let them know that I go through it and I survive it. Some of them situations might be worse than mine or similar as mine, but I want them to know that don't give up. There's a man called Jesus. As long as you have him in your life, you can never, never, never lose. Okay? So, as I said, give back positive feedback. Or if I give me negative feedback, I'm not going to make it bother me, because guess what? I'm going to use that to motivate me and uplift me more. So comment. Let me know what you think about my journey. Like, subscribe, and share it so it could be a blessing to other persons. Okay, thank you very much.